After I turned 18, my mom and dad, who I knew growing up as born-again Christians who didn't drink or do drugs or anything like that, had then turned to drugs themselves. Methamphetamine, cocaine, alcohol. Before I knew it, I was mixed up doing drugs with both my parents. Everything just really spun out of control. I started stealing cars. I would do check forgeries, diamond heists. I was definitely heavily addicted to meth and cocaine. The majority of my life, I was really lonely. I could be surrounded by 1,000 people that all knew my name and all liked me, but I still felt alone. I turned to alcohol as my source for what I needed, and I got 3 DWIs in less than a year. They sentenced me to 72 months in prison, and it was just a huge blow. I had a 3-year-old son at the time, and so getting 6 years in prison, I really didn't know what to do. I got out. Before I knew it, I was back drinking again. I was really lost, and I went to church a few times, and I was one of those people that would sit in a seat in church and just saying, I know I'm going to go leave this place and go right back to what I was doing as soon as I'm out the door and just forget about God. One night, I spent the night at a girl's house. I drank some alcohol. I woke up the next morning. I was driving. I got pulled over. I got another DWI. They wanted to give me 10 years. With my background, there's no way of getting out of it. There was not a chance. I got on my cell floor that night, and I remember just crying out to the Lord and just asking Him to save me from what I had become and the situation that I was in. I really truly cried out with a heart of repentance that I was truly broken at that point in time. Something odd happened. I began having a hunger for the Lord and to know His Word, and the only desire I had was to truly seek after the Lord. My court date came up, and it was time for me to go before the judge, and I saw my attorney, and I just felt the Holy Spirit tell me to ask for 2 years, which is not even possible. They had me dead to rights. I presented her with it anyways. She said, what are you asking me? And I said, you need to just go talk to the prosecutor. She came back half an hour later and told me that the prosecutor and the judge both said yes and signed off on it if I pled guilty that day. And that was such a supernatural thing too, a total miracle. Only God could have done that. So I did a year and a half. Got out November 25th of 2015, and I'm still getting my life back together. And the one thing that I know, the one thing that is for certain, is that God is real, and He's real in my life, and He has supernaturally changed my heart forever.